Welcome to part 4 of our video series on vacant home insurance, brought to you by the website vacanthomeinsurancenow.com. In this part, we are going to talk about coverage features when the first 3 parts have been about, kind of the misconceptions in the market about most people just don't realize they have to put a specialty policy on called vacant home insurance, and they try to keep it from the insurance company. This part's about coverage features. Once somebody realized, hey, the only way I'm going to properly cover this house, no one's living there, is to get a specialty policy, realizing that almost none of the large insurance companies whose names you would recognize provide these policies. What are the features? The first and most important thing is people need to realize when they look in the marketplace in their state for vacant home insurance quotes, there's going to be a limited number of providers. There's going to be several insurance companies that the folks have never heard of. But most importantly, these policies are not the same as normal homeowners insurance policies in most cases, meaning policies are typically reduced coverage, limited coverage. We call limited named perils coverage. And what that means is when they're living in the house and they've got a major brand name insurance company and the family's in the house, most coverage is called all risk coverage, which means anything that could happen to the house would be covered except what's on the exclusion list. And the common exclusions are earthquake and flood, for example, are always excluded. So people get these quotes for vacant home insurance and they just don't look at them closely and they don't realize it's not the same level of coverage. It's much reduced. There are coverages on the market in many states that do continue with the all-risk coverage, and all-risk is a better standard of coverage. But most of the market for vacant home insurance is a limited form of coverage. So they might give you a list of what's called named perils. And a peril is like fire, wind, hail, lightning, smoke, things that can cause damage to a home. So if you were holding a limited named perils policy, the insurance company might be covering you for, say, 7 or 8 things. And the issue is if something happens to the house that's not on that list of 7 or 8 things, the homeowner has no coverage. They're left with nothing. The most common example is a tree falling on the house. A tree falling on house is usually not on this list of covered items from most insurance companies. Fire, of course, is on the list, and wind might be on the list. Aircraft is sometimes on the list. If an aircraft falls into the house, I'm not sure how important that is to most people to have that item, but tree falling on house is typically not on the list. This is something that can cause $60, $70, $100,000 of damage. This is something that would be covered under almost all risk insurance policies. So when you look for vacant homeowners insurance, number one, don't assume it's the same qualities when you're living in the house. And if you're prepared to take a reduced coverage, make sure you know exactly what you're buying and ask a lot of questions. People are not used to asking questions for homeowners insurance. They take the brand name policy and they typically put it in a drawer. This can lead to major problems down the road. And we hope this part 4 of our series of 5 was helpful. Hope you tune in for part 5, and thanks for tuning in. If there's any questions, our website at www.vacanthomeinsurancenow.com has a ton of information you can use. Thanks.